And I'd like to tell you a story about my life, taking risks, asking questions, and death. Once upon a time, when I was 5 years old, my dad asked a question, not to me, but to himself. What if his kid, me, didn't study the next grade? I was in class first, grade first, as we know it. And what if I didn't study the grade second? That goes against conventional wisdom, but he was asking questions. So I didn't study it. I went to grade third. And when I was in grade third, my dad asked a question. What if his kid didn't study the next grade? So I didn't study grade fourth. I went to grade fifth, grade one to grade third to grade fifth. When I was in grade fifth, my dad asked a question. What if his kid didn't study the next grade? But then my mom said, no, that's enough. And so I have been studying all the grades since then. But I graduated from high school, grade 12 at 15. And I'd like to, if there's one thing that I'd like you to take home with what I'm saying, is keep asking questions, not because you want to change something in the world, but because that is the right way to live life. When I joined college, which I'm studying in right now, when I joined college, either I could study continuously for all 4 years and get a job, or I could pursue whatever interested me, all the fields that interested me. So I asked a question, what if I did that? So in my first year, I started a startup called Brevity, which went on to be the largest EdTech startup in Lucknow and had pretty good growth and revenue. Then, since then, I've been starting startups and I've been involved in mentoring a lot of them. I've asked a question, what if people could use their brain to control the environment around them? So I developed a brain-computer interface for people and for the blind to see the world. If you don't ask questions, the only thing that will happen is you will not be able to introspect what you are doing in your life. You will not be able to change what you have been doing in your life. Asking questions is the only way that prompts you to take risks. About taking risks, starting a venture is the ultimate form of taking risks. You never know what's going to happen. Not the next year, not the next month, but the next day. What if the next deal that you're going to, the next meeting that you're going to, doesn't go as you expected? That's the form of risk we're talking about here. But risk is not just limited to ventures or business. Risks are the form of death. What if you die without having an impact? There have been more people alive today than have ever died. And in the next 100 years, more than 7 billion people will die. What are you doing to change yourself, to ask questions, to face the reality of death? Death is the only thing that is true in your life. Will you have an impact that will serve the humanity, and the delta of impact that you're going to create in the world, is that what you want to do? You have to ask questions about what you are doing currently, You have to ask questions about what you will pursue next. You have to ask questions if that will have an impact. I have a short poem of 4 lines regarding asking questions. Asking questions, ask questions, for no one else will do it for you. Ask questions not for others, but to improve. Ask questions, for no one else will do it for you. Ask questions, because that's the only way to change. Ask questions, because that's how you impact. Ask questions, because that's how change happens.